Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the eISL powered by Coca-Cola with Hero as our associate sponsor, Novin Gaming as our esports partner, PlayStation as our platform partner, and of course, Terra Virtua as our digital collectibles partner. Now, joining me as usual is the one and only Azim. So, tell me, Azim, how are you doing today?
Very excited today. It could actually be a day of decision for what happens in the top four. We could potentially see that top four battle being locked today, depending on how results go. But of course, we want to prolong it as much as we can. So let's quickly take you through the tournament format. Of course, this is just about the end of the league stages. It's really exciting. 3 games per match, 2 1v1s, and of course 1 co-op to battle it out for the right to make the finals. Only the top 4 teams will make it there, to be played 19th and 20th March. And of course, also on the 20th of March, the 2 winning team members, their road doesn't end there. In fact, it's just starting, because who will represent India at FGS 2022?
That is the question, but I think right now the topic on every player's mind is whether or not they can even make it to that final stage, make it to that top 4. And yesterday we saw a set of intense matches, really diversifying the run for the same. FC Goa dropping some critical points now gives the team we're going to see in our first matchup, Bengaluru, a chance to catch up.
Yeah, and of course, battling it out for a massive prize pool as well. That top 4 doesn't just come with the prestige, it also comes with a massive chunk of that 78 lakh rupee prize pool, with the first place team winning 15 lakh rupees. Also a great little chunk of change for the MVP, with 4 lakhs, and of course their own personalized NFT made by our digital collectibles partner, Terra Virtua.
Absolutely. That personal memento, really, that also has a ton of value attached to it for yourself. Remind yourself, hey, I was the most valuable player in the eISL Season 1. That is something that is real nifty. But talking about all of these teams, looking at the leaderboard, as we were talking about, you can see Bengaluru right now, they're on that 6th spot, Azim. But they have a couple of games on Northeast United and 1 game on FC Goa. So a win today can be critical to their chances of making top 4.
Yeah, and it's not going to be easy for them, because it's up against the number 1 team and the only team who has so far secured mathematically their passage into the top 4, SCEB Bengal. So it's going to be interesting to see how SCEB Bengal approach it. Is it going to be pressure off, so now we, just take it easy, play our own game, do our own thing, which could be dangerous, because when the pressure has been on SCEB Bengal, that's when their performances have dropped just a little bit. When there was no pressure, they were just destroying everybody left, right and center. And let's take a look at what the lineups and the matchups are for today. I'm very excited to see what we're going to be watching over here. It's Varsi against Ankit Gupta, Sagnik against Ben 07. So, it's all very well matched. Varsi and Sagnik have been in terrific form of late. A little bit of a dip recently, but they keep going, and now they have to make up that ground on Northeast United FC and FC Goa, who are both in action today, playing against each other later on. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned for the rest. To be an absolute blast.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm really excited to see if Bengaluru can pile the pressure on them that much more by taking down SCEB Bengal early in the day. Because I think for both of the teams, if they see Bengaluru taking down SCEB Bengal now, that matchup becomes so much more valuable in terms of who picks up the 3 points. Or rather, if Bengaluru perspective is to be taken, they'll want that to end up in a draw. So both of them drop points. So I think we'll have to see what it ends up being. But for now, looking at the previous time these two teams played, it was a comfortable win for the side of SCEB Bengal on the backs of Shayantan, of course. But the co-op win is where I have my eyes on. So maybe if they can get some different result in the individual games, look to clutch it out in the co-op once again. That co-op has been something that we've been continuously applauding from the very start for Bengaluru FC.
Yes, absolutely. And we do see Varsi back in his Mickey Mouse cosplay. Has been serving him well off late, and looking like a proper gamer, shall we say. There we go, with the hoodie and the headphones on top of it. The Mickey Mouse look, and the lucky hoodie for him, considering they've got decent results with that. And now it's about whether Ankit Gupta is going to revert to form and go back to the Bindas Ankit, shall we say, the guy who just literally did not care, did his own thing. And there you go, immediately an opportunity to score, and from a corner, getting that header in, cleared away, and Bengaluru FC trying to get that counter attack in. But I get the feeling that Ankit is going to just be a bit merciless, a bit more ruthless today, because just there's no pressure. He can really play his own game, and that's when he's absolutely at his best.
100%, and we'll have to see really if he's able to deliver us on that bicycle kick that we requested of him a long time ago. Maybe now that pressure is gone, that bicycle kick actually ends up coming up. You can see Varsi, we saw this from Lok Manu yesterday, the Rocky Ball Balboa. Look, really, Varsi seems to have really leaned in deep into that, trying to find the focus that is necessary to take down one of our top MVP candidates in Ankit Gupta.
Yeah, and of course, you can get yourselves your own animated team mascots, whether it's for Bengaluru FC or SCEB Bengal or whatever you like. It's worth $19.99, but you get it for free. Just head over to terravirtua.io/ISL. But now, getting forward, Ankit Gupta going with Rabona Fix in the middle of the park because, well, he can afford to do that considering he is nicely safe and secure with that top 4 berth. He knows that he's guaranteed some prize money as well, irrespective of what happens in the playoffs. So that's a little bit of a nice, comfortable cushion to have. But we see Saknik, Varsi holding on to that ball, manages to thread that through now with R9 into the box. Getting very uncomfortable is Ankit on defense over here, but not able to capitalize there. Varsi still keeps that possession. He's been very, very patient so far. And we did see Bengaluru FC the last time. It was Varsi who didn't manage to get his win, but it was Sagnik who managed to just about try to rescue a little bit, salvage that situation just a little bit over there. But he'll be looking to get that win today. It will be a massive scalp if he can get Ankit and get the win against him, and also take the pressure off his teammate for game 2.
Absolutely. I think talking about that pressure aspect as well, going into this first match, I'm sure Varsi is going to have a point to prove in trying to take down Ankit Gupta right here, because last time around he played against Shayantan, if I'm not mistaken, and he did end up losing that match, but it was very, very close. A lot of goals that we saw within that. So again, something that we saw yesterday that we're going to continue to see towards this final phase of the tournament is the importance of that first goal, importance of converting that first chance, and it just looked there for a second that Varsi might get one.
Yeah, it looked like he may have pulled off that nutmeg inadvertently through a ball roll, but didn't happen. Now Ankit has bodies forward, but ends up slowing down his momentum just a little bit. A decent looking ball up front, but of course Ruben Diaz in there. It falls back to Ankit again. Now looking for that manual pass, almost the perfect pass in, was the right idea to go for that chip, but now great turn into the box. Will he go for that cutback? Easy finish. There you go. Ankit is back in business, and Varsi, he needs to come up with a few new ideas because Ankit is right on top at the moment.
And the celebration apt as well, because I'm sure he's feeling at peace with the pressure gone away. He's feeling that he can play his true game, and you saw that loop-de-loop done perfectly towards that right wing, setting up Ronaldo very, very well. He does it, making it look so easy. But I'm 100% sure if I have it right, it would not be that easy.
Yeah, but now in recent games we've seen Ankit sort of take that one goal lead, maybe even a 2-goal lead, and then just completely shut down because he's like, you know what, I just want to see out the win. I'm not interested in scoring that many goals. It's just the result that matters. But I wonder now if we'll see those shackles being released a little bit. Varsi could be on the receiving end of a real thrashing if Ankit really gets into the mood for it. And he does look like he's in the mood today, really looking very direct, and he's not been happy with his form overall. Of course, he's been saying, yes, it's all about the team. Great through ball played this time to Ronaldo. Will he look for the shot? Oh my goodness, smashes it into the top corner. Varsi has to take the headphones off for a moment as well. And yep, this is the Ankit Gupta of old. It's not Ankit Gupta, and it is 2-0 to SCEB Bengal.
Yeah, beautifully done. And Ankit really starting to show us what we expected, which is without that pressure, he starts dominating his opposition, and already so within the first 32 minutes, taking a 2-0 lead. Varsi, you can see that pressure is starting to show through, mistakes showing up with the cracks as well, a ball given away, and you can't afford this against Ankit, I feel like, because while I do agree with what you said, that recently it does seem like he wants to see the win through. Today I don't think he's going to care. Today I think his focus is going to be, I'm going to score a lot of goals, try to get me that MVP prize.
Yeah, definitely. He's still just about in the lead for the MVP stakes, but of course the more goals he scores here, the stronger his chances get. Of course, a lot of the players who are currently in that race, some of them might not make it through to the playoffs. So he does have an advantage in that sense. Already goes for the finish shot. But yeah, this is the Ankit Gupta of old that we're seeing. He's really having fun, playing on instinct, doing the things that he enjoys doing. And it's a torrid time for Varsi right now. Can he make it back? Can he finally just claw that one goal back? It doesn't look like he's able to hold possession at the moment. Does get it back now, but I really think he needs to try to get one goal back just before halftime, just to put that little seed of doubt in Ankit's mind and potentially get that little bit of a comeback trail.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a really simple fact we've seen throughout this last set of matches in this tournament has been now most players, they struggle to push back when they're a goal down, but suddenly a lease of life can bring you a lot of hope. A single goal can reinvigorate yourself, your gameplay, and bring forward a likelihood that you are able to get that extra one, are able to find the equalizer. So it is just that single opening that Varsi needs right now. One goal will bring back his momentum, will bring back his belief, and oh, it looks like he might set it off with a long shot.
Ooh.
Oh, a little too far.
Yeah, went wide, but yeah, you can see the intention over there, just trying to get something on target, give Ankit something to think about. Maybe with a save, maybe just getting a corner out of it. And it does look like the halftime is imminent. Is Ankit going to get in again? It falls to Akemi and almost given away. And Varsi, well, survives that one. It's 2 goals down, not very happy with himself. But yeah, I mean, from a neutral POV, we do want to see Bengaluru FC try to get something from this game. So it just makes that top 4 battle even more exciting going into the final days. We really wanted to go down to the wire. Of course, all the teams would prefer if it was just all settled and done very, very early on. But we want to watch this go to its most nail-biting conclusion possible. But Ankit Gupta, you can see over there that opportunities opening up and then taking those shots, acting on instinct, and that's when he's absolutely at his best.
Yeah, absolutely. And at this point, I think I'm starting to feel a lot more hopeful about the potential bicycle kick, Azim. And I think we might really get to see, if not a bicycle kick, at least some sort of flare goal. Maybe a scorpion kick, maybe some sort of Bulasi flick that we saw yesterday in the finesse classes set up with a cool shot. I'll take anything at this point.
Yeah, well, Ankit straight from the kickoff, going up and trying to score at the other end, and of course bringing out the arsenal of tricks, which he is renowned for. We do know the Bulasi flick is his favorite skill move, and we do see now Varsi getting in, going for that cross cancel, shall we say. Now with Bellingham on the edge of the area, we've seen Bellingham shots fly in, even on the weaker foot, quite a few times over the last couple of weeks. So it might be worth having a punt, but Varsi just not able to keep that ball, and now Ankit getting in behind. It'll be a bit of a task for Eusebio to outmuscle Marquinhos in that situation. So Varsi does have the ball back and looking around, trying to create something. He's got 4 men up. He's playing that 4-2-4 formation. Maybe might need to switch things around a little bit. Maybe go to a 4-1-2-1, 4-1-2-1-2 diamond with the fullbacks attacking as well. This time getting forward with Mbappe. Can't find that pass in. Ankit's very, very capable of defending that, read that very, very easily. And now, lots of space for Mbappe, but just plays it out.
Yeah, and I'm really glad to see the resurgence of the Kante card. Really, I think for me, especially having got to try it out recently, it's a card that carries a lot of value inherently in its ability. I mean, just like Kante is in real life, be all over the pitch, you know, just be ever present in every way you want, as well as give those necessary passing attributes that you may not necessarily get with any other center defensive midfielder. But hold on to that thought for a second. A 1-2 setup for Ankit, but instead he's going to shift the ball onto that left wing, looking for space with Ronaldo, but not going to find much. But you can see a bit of desperation right here potentially from Varsi. He's really scrambling all across the pitch, trying to get the ball back, but none of it shown from Ankit till this tackle. But fortunately, Ankit gets it back.
Yeah, well, and gives it away immediately, and now Varsi looking for that counter attack. But Ankit looks very set on defense. This time, a great through ball. Has to make this count. Keeper's been brought out. Will he go for the finish? Yes, he does. Varsi smashes it into that top corner. Ankit's mind game is not working. And on the comeback trail, he is. It is 2-1. SCEB Bengal now under a bit of pressure. Bengaluru FC, a ray of hope. Plenty of time to get that equalizer. And a crucial equalizer it could be, because he's won that ball back immediately. Now the momentum with Varsi. That one little slip. Another great ball. Can he win that header? No, Van der Sar connects.
some beautiful through balls being set up by Varsi right now as he looks to really up the tempo and the heat with respect to this challenge on getting back that equalizer, getting back that goal against Ankit Gupta. Ankit himself, he wants to re-establish his safety cushion, wants that extra goal. But again, being shuttled out towards there. Now we do see a pause coming out, and as you were saying, I think this might be a change from the traditional 4-2-3-1 that we're seeing him play onto more of a 4-1-2-1-2, get Hakimi involved a lot more. And we saw in those scenarios where Hakimi is allowed to run down the wings, really set up the ball into the box, he can really be very devastating to the opponents.
Yeah, although I do think it might be Ankit who's making some of the tactical changes. I'm not sure if Varsi will go for the narrow formation just yet, because what he's doing is he's getting a lot of joy in behind the fullbacks because Ankit's playing a high line. And I wonder if he'll just persist with that wide formation and force Ankit to defend that little bit deeper, which then, of course, in turn will open up a little bit more space in the midfield. And we do see now that Ankit has dropped his defensive line just a little bit further back. There will be a bit more space for Varsi to exploit. And having a look at the way the players are rearranging themselves at the moment, it does look, oh, it's going to be a free kick for Ankit. Don't put it past him to smash this into the top corner, although I do think he's going to have an interesting routine in play.
I have to say, yesterday we saw those finesse classes where V. Sharma very aptly explained to us how direct free kicks are usually extremely unlikely, but unlikely is what we like as neutral observers. So I want to see him going for that one, but very low power on that. Could try to get it to grip, but nothing worked out. Instead, on the counter is Varsi one again. This is the kind of counter with which he set up his first goal. He's going to look for the second. Has a lot of options in the box, but he's going to go center right where Varane is, but a lucky header back gets him the ball now. Again, on the edge, needs to just maybe slow things down and look for a guaranteed chance.
Yeah, Varsi, of course, he knows all about late comebacks. He's done plenty of times. He may have the shooting opportunity over here with Hullet. Finds it, almost finding the way through to Ronaldo. He's getting closer. Varsi is knocking on that door. And Ankit is going to, have to get his defensive A game on. Or potentially just strike on that counter-attack, because there will be gaps now for him to exploit. And Ankit is one of those players who's absolutely devastating on the counter-attack, particularly when other teams are trying to attack him. He'll just find that quick long ball in behind, and suddenly it's a goal. It's a little chip into the top corner before you realize what's happened. And doing very well to hold on to the ball over here, going all the way almost with Eusebio, but well dealt with by Varsi. Now reaching into the business end of this game at 79 minutes played. Kevin De Bruyne brought on, injured already. That's not going to please Varsi too much. It'll take him a couple of in-game minutes to get his full capabilities back. And with Mbappe now getting forward, is he onside? Cancelo is onside, gets into that box, one touch too many, and it's going to be a goal kick, I think.
Yeah, and the heat is really amping up with this match towards the end of it. We've got about 9 or so minutes on the game clock, and of course, that's besides that 1 or maybe even 2 minutes that we get in the extra time aspect. But it is really going to come down to these wing plays again and again that we're seeing come through from Varsi. High pace, high tempo, just trying to again and again punish the simple thing that we've seen from Ankit in the past, which is however good he might be on attacking, there are times on defense where he might turn off, where he might not make the right decision, and Varsi is continuously pushing and challenging him, looking for that one loophole. But it's a matter of time just for Ankit to hold on.
And I think taking more time than he would have got from one pause. I think it's Ankit who's still not entirely happy, doing a lot of tactical changes, maybe a change to formation as well. I don't know. We haven't seen a lot of players go 5 at the back. We've seen generally 4-2-3-1 is the best meta formation for defense, and if you're going all out attack, you tend to go 3-4-3, or of course the 4-1-2-1-2 with the fullbacks overlapping. And there you go, Sandat saying just keep it calm, keep it clean, see it out. There's about 10 game minutes left for both teams, and it is Ronaldo off, interestingly enough. So taking off a forward, maybe going for a defender. And even though it's obviously a high pressure game for Varsi, it gives Ankit that opportunity to experiment. And look at that, the amount of space left in behind by Varsi over there. Now Ankit with Vinny Jr. Oh, this is surely a goal. There you go. And Varsi, before he even had a moment to implement those attacking changes of his, finds himself too exposed on the defense. And Ankit seeing it out. It's 3-1. This game's in the bag, and now the pressure shifts to Sagnik in the next game.
And talk about an impactful sub. Vinicius Jr. coming on for Ronaldo, instantly running down that wing, really exploiting that high pace of his to perfection. Ankit Gupta sets up his third goal, and like you said, this is surely lights out for Varsi with just 5 minutes left on the board. Maybe could have pulled it back if he found a goal in that chance right there, but now it just seems like with him going extremely on the attacking front, his defense is exposed. There, Marquinhos in the box.
Yeah, it did. It did look like that, and Marquinhos now running all the way back. It is a foul made by Ankit over there. The game will be stopped. And yeah, with 88 minutes on the clock, maybe just a consolation possible for Varsi if he can get one goal potentially. Although Bengaluru FC's goal difference is fairly healthy, so they don't particularly need to score that many goals. But at the moment, it's Mbappe getting in. Cancelo will snuff that out. Is there going to be an opportunity for just one goal for Varsi? Doesn't look like it. Although he's getting forward pretty fast, but I think the whistle will go now. But Vinny Jr.'s pace being exploited over there. Marquinhos comes across. Can't really get a left foot cross from Vinicius. Will be Hullet. Will there be a shot? Will there be time to take that shot? Nope, it's not. And Varsi can't get the result that he was looking for. The pressure is on for Bengaluru FC. And Ankit Gupta again proving that when there's no pressure on, he seems to get those wins quite easily.
Yeah, most definitely. Ankit Gupta, with 3 goals especially, also getting that much closer to a potential MVP for himself. But I think now it's going to be all pressure on Sagnik himself. He is the slightly more experienced player among the two in the Bengaluru FC, and he's going to have to pull off a win against the extremely solid Shantan so far, the player who I'd say really has stepped up towards the brunt end of the eISL. So it's a very hard game right here for Sagnik, but I feel like pressure is something that he does thrive in. So let's see if he's able to pull off the win today in his own individual.
Yeah, I'm sure that Sagnik will obviously be hoping for the win, but I think at the worst he would want to get a draw out of that game so that Bengaluru FC have some scope of getting even at least a point out of this, because this is really pretty much, along with Mumbai City FC, the toughest fixture that they could have had in this moment. They do have, after this game, of course, still 3 games to play. But it's going to get more and more difficult after that if they don't manage to get this win. I believe they're sitting on 24 points right now, and I would think that they need to win all of their games and rely on a few results going their way if they are to make it in that top 4. And really, it is going to be heartbreaking whichever out of those 3 teams out of Bengaluru FC, Northeast United FC Goa doesn't make it. Only one of them can at this point. And all of them, such a nice bunch of lads. They've always been great fun to chat with. Mufu starting a few mind games, saying the pressure's not on us, pressure's on Bengaluru FC, pressure's on FC Goa. And does look like that seems to be the case, because the pressure has shown for Varsi today.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think Varsi, unfortunately, not getting the result that he would have preferred, not getting the start to this series that Bengaluru FC necessarily wanted. And that pressure definitely showing as cracks appeared in that defense time and time again. But I will say this is against our number 1 team. So I think for Varsi and Sagnik, as you said, this is all about securing maximum points that they can, going away from the series a loss. But that's where I would be like, they would be extremely disappointed. Even if they're able to get a draw throughout this series, then even that single point could make a huge difference to them, considering the fact that later on today we're going to be seeing their 2 main contenders, Northeast United and FC Goa, playing together, and therefore one of them definitely dropping points.
Yeah, well, at least one of them will drop points, and in an ideal scenario for Bengaluru FC, both would drop points, and that's really what they're going to be looking forward to. But yeah, it's kicked off very nicely. Very, very interesting way that this is set up now. Of course, that the pressure firmly on Bengaluru FC. And let's head over now to have a chat with Ankit Gupta, who, well, it looks like he has gone back to his old days and become not Ankit Gupta again. तो अंकित, good win for you. अभी थोड़ा pressure उठ गया है. Of course, mathematically you are in the top 4. तो थोड़ा आज खुल के खेल रहे थे, ऐसा लग रहा था.
हाँ, मतलब आज काफ़ी प्रेसिंग करके, फास्ट बिल्डअप करके, इतना था कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा गोल मारना है, क्योंकि एमवीपी की रेस काफ़ी टाइट हो चुकी है, तो उस बेसिस पे खेल रहा था.
So basically हर वक्त पे eyes on the prize. एक प्राइज तो ऑलरेडी सिक्योर हो गया, टॉप 4 का. अब एमवीपी पे आंखें आपकी.
एमवीपी भी इम्पोर्टेंट ही है, लाइक ज़रूरी, मतलब सभी एकदम अच्छा ही खेल रहे हैं और सब क्लोज बाय है, तो जितना भी गोल मार सकते हैं वो मैटर करेगा. द गुड थिंग इज़ कि हम लोग ने हमारा टॉप 4 सिक्योर कर लिया, तो अभी हम लोग थोड़ा फ्रीडम से खेल सकते हैं, विच इज़ गुड फॉर अस.
फ्रीडम भी है, एंड ऑल्सो थोड़ा सा तुम लोग एक्सपेरिमेंट भी कर रहे हो थोड़े से नए टैक्टिक्स, नए फॉर्मेशंस वगैरह के साथ. एट दिस पॉइंट इज इट अ गुड टाइम टू डू दैट?
अभी फ़िलहाल के लिए जो फॉर्मेशन है उसमें कंफर्टेबल है. मे बी लास्ट मैच में कुछ चेंजेस देखने मिल सकता है, तो डिसाइड नहीं किया, बट मोस्ट प्रोबेबली लास्ट गेम में हो सकता है.
लेट्स सी, वील बी होपिंग. अभी तक तुम्हारा बाइसिकल किक नहीं हुआ है, तो वील बी लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू दैट इन द रिमेनिंग गेम्स. बट या, ऑल द बेस्ट टू यू एंड Shayantan. We're looking forward to the rest of the games.
थैंक यू सो मच. थैंक यू.
I'm really interested to see those potential changes he talked about, because I really do feel like the evolution of the meta coming in from the end of the tournament towards the playoffs will be one to witness, because I'm sure every player will have something prepared differently for their playoff run.
Yeah, absolutely. But Sagnik needs to have something prepared immediately for Shayantan if Bengaluru FC are to make it into that top 4. They've been a very interesting campaign for Bengaluru FC. I think it's just been, they started off really, really well. Then there was a dip. Then suddenly they picked up form really, really well again. And now again, there's that little bit of a dip. And Sagnik needs to come up trumps. He is, of course, the main man for Bengaluru FC. He's been the guy who's come up with the big results when they've really mattered, and rescued that win, that draw that's sometimes really required to keep Bengaluru FC in the fight. And it's good. I think it's going to be a similar case to that as well. We saw them go up against Chennai FC, where Varsi got a decent result against Saranch, but unfortunately in the co-op they couldn't quite make it happen. I think it was a draw at the end of it. So a result that didn't particularly serve either team that well. And now it's going to be a battle. Shayantan always looking calm, cool, composed, always in that zone. And Sagnik getting ready now. I wonder if he's going to try anything different, because obviously these guys know each other so well, and Vasi can afford to have a smile now, but Sagnik completely focused on getting his team ready.
Yeah, most definitely. And like you said, I think it is really going to be Sagnik who has to be that difference maker, who has to be the X factor. Because another point for us to remember is that coming in from the previous matchup, it was actually Bengaluru who was able to secure the win in the co-op game. So if they're able to get the win here, if Sagnik is able to get the win here in the individual, they'll have that in the back of their mind that, hey, we beat them once in the co-op, we can do it again, try to maybe even secure the 3 points. But yeah, what is crucial here is not losing. Even if a draw does come through, it does open up the opportunity for them to at least secure 1 point. But a loss here will mean GG. They lose all 3 of those points, and that's going to be devastating to their top 4 chances.
Yeah, absolutely. And having a look at the comparison, Sagnik, of course, still, I mean, he seems like that senior figure in the FIFA team because we've seen him for a number of years now, but he's still just 19. Look at that skill level 2250, probably one of the highest in the eISL currently. I think I've only seen Lokmanu and Shubham from Odisha FC have higher or similar skill scores on FIFA. And also another guy who's in the battle for that MVP, for those MVP stakes on 39 goals. Ankit, of course, now moving well into the 40s after that last game. So Sagnik will be looking to turn it on. And I mean, you do have to think that even Shayantan is due a bad game in a while, because he's just been ultra consistent since, I don't know, probably the last 10 games. I haven't seen him there don't appear to be any dents in his game at all. He goes a goal down, 2 goals down, manages to just come back and claw that result. And he scores different kind of goals as well. He's scoring the long range finishes, he's scoring the chips, he's scoring from set pieces, the crosses into the box. So really, both these players, Shayantan and Ankit, really the complete package they've developed into over these last few weeks and months. And Sagnik's going to be really have to be at his absolute best to get something over here. He would love a 1-0 just to take it to that final game. Let's see what happens.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that point you mentioned about Shayantan too is so important, because when we saw that pressure lifted off Ankit, he's going for the MVP. Shayantan himself not too far behind, just 2 goals behind Sagnik. So maybe he himself will let himself lose a little bit, try to go for goals more so in this matchup than we've ever seen him. Because as you said, he has been really the optimal player throughout, which does mean that there are lesser goals in his matchups than usual. So maybe today we'll get to see an unleashed version of.
Well, definitely. We've been waiting to see what the. I mean, we have seen Shantan score a few goals on quite a few occasions. He has had a couple of 3 and 4 goal games occasionally, but generally just does the job. And you can see Ankit over there just congratulating him on winning a throw, and that's the kind of encouragement that these two boys have been giving each other throughout the tournament. And they've relied on each other. There have been moments where early on where Shantan was struggling just that little bit, but Ankit was the guy in form, and he was the guy really giving Shantan all that support that he needed. And similarly, we've seen Ankit sort of drop off the boil, not winning 3 or 4 matches in a row, which was unheard of at the start of the season. And now we see both these guys suddenly clicking into gear, into form at exactly the right time in the tournament that they would need it.
Oh yeah, still. For them, form has been key. SCEB Bengal, as we were talking about the first team, and what a beautiful corner routine. Kante with a curving in ball sets up Marquinhos on the far post, who slams it in. The keeper got a hand to that, Azim. It was no dice whatsoever. The power on that shot from Marquinhos gets the ball in anyways.
Yeah, I mean, these SCEB Bengal guys, they've really figured out set pieces in this game. With every change in the meta as well, they've just managed to work. And it's such a handy tool to have in your arsenal to be able to pick out an unexpected corner routine that the other team was not prepared for. And they worked that brilliantly, did Shantan over there. And again, before any time to react, immediately there's a goal down. And the pressure is on Sagnik. And could this be the end of their top 4 hopes in this game itself? We saw SCEB Bengal end another team's hopes yesterday by just getting that win immediately, but see them getting in at this moment, not quite able to get through with KDB over there, and does well to keep that in. Sagnik, of course, the good news for him is that it's still very early. Oh, great little turn away with Neymar. Now it's R9, goes for the shot. I thought the chance was gone, but Sagnik shows the composure, makes it count, and it is 1-1. Bengaluru FC right back in it. That's exactly what they needed.
And it's that exact word you used, composure, really, because for a couple of moves right there, it felt like he'd lost the ball. He certainly didn't have the space, but does it really well to set up Ronaldo on the left foot, of all things, just slamming it in across the goal to the top corner. We're in for a hell of a match, as already 20 minutes in, we've got 2 goals, one on either side, and these players going back to back against each other and really showing up with their skill moves too, and set pieces like we saw from Shantan to try and catch each other off guard. So I'm in for this. It's going to be a roller coaster of a ride, and that's the way we like it.
Well, I think the entire day of fixtures is going to be a bit of a roller coaster. Of course, we do have this game is Shantan. Oh, brilliant ball played in, and again Van der Sar not having the game of his life at all. Again getting a hand to it with the ball, just manages to trickle in. And well, 3 goals we've seen in the opening 20 minutes. I don't think that's the end of it.
Yeah, Bengaluru seems to have got not FC Goa's Van der Sar right there, and the double agent Van der Sar, right here. But to be fair, again, like it's those situations that Shantan creates for himself, that where he finds himself in a situation where almost always the power he's able to create on the perfectly timed finish gets the ball in one way or another. And I think it really speaks to that optimized style of gameplay that we talked about. But a bit of a Castigas right there gives the ball away in a key situation, and Neymar had the chance of his life. Well, Sagnik had the chance of his life, but unfortunately this time it's Shantan's keeper who steps up and denies it. So the lead maintained for SCEB Bengal. See Gullit trying to move forward, setting up a chance for himself, and it has become the note that huge chance and a shot coming through for Neymar. Second time around, actually manages to get this one in the back. 2-2 already, Azim, and wow. We expected a high goal scoring matchup in this series, but so fast, so quick. Well, I'll take it. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, that's a brilliant FIFA we're watching over here. Again, Sagnik pegged back for the second time and managing to get himself straight back in. It's of course a huge game for them to really try to make up ground on FC Goa and Northeast United FC. As things stand, they would be 4 and 5 points behind both of those teams respectively if they don't get the win over here. So it's really crucial crunch game, and really Sagnik now bringing those clutch plays in. He's bringing his A game to it. Could do a bit better defensively, I'm sure. But maybe that's a call he's taken, to be that little bit open on defense so that he can keep attacking and create chances. Had the opportunity to slide R9 in over there, decided not to take it, but works it well. Again, the composure from Sagnik has been excellent. But this time the Casters curse strikes again. And it is Santhan getting in behind. Again, he's got in behind that defense. Again, he goes for the chip. And it is 3-2. The action just does not stop.
Yeah, Sagnik's defense getting caught off guard time and time again by these very nifty through balls placed through. This time a lofted one coming through for Ronaldo. His physicality helping his team out a lot as he holds on for dear life, and a beautiful chip coming through. Usually we expect that from Ankit, but this time it's Shanthan who delivers, as now with 35 minutes in, we've already got way more goals than we got in most of our overall matches yesterday, and already you can see this is why I think both of these teams, they're known as prolific goal scorers. Even Bengaluru, they have a huge goal difference, you know, so they are a team that continuously is able to get goal after goal in. They like to play those close matches, and when they win triumphantly, but right now definitely not winning.
Yeah, and again, Shanthan finding those long balls in behind repeatedly. Vieira over there in defense this time. And maybe I do wonder, maybe if he'd gone for a more specialist defensive card, would those few balls be being blocked off? Whether if it was a Ruben Diaz or maybe a Rafael Varane or even a Rudiger or a Maldini in there, may have made a bit of a difference. But I think we've seen Sagnik look comfortable with that, trying to bait Santhan there, and now we've seen him use Neymar to great effect, but not this time. The trick sort of taking him almost out of the pitch, and it was an emergency pass that he had to make just to keep the ball. And now, could this be the sucker punch from Shanthan at the end of the first half? If he makes it 4-2, I think that's offside. Yep, it is.
Yep, and immediately though, despite that being offside, what we can start noticing is there's lots of gaps in Bengaluru FC's defense, because they are committing a lot of bodies to their attack. So both of these players in it to play for the goals. They score more, they win the game is their ideology. And right now, that interesting maneuver over there from Neymar. I'm not sure if that was that a deflection as aimed with the ball coming through from Ronaldo?
I think it was just saved, and now I think he just needs to take a shot. Still, the opportunity is not gone. Referee unwilling to blow the whistle. It's 3 minutes played, and this time surely it will be blown. No, 4 minutes played. Sagnik gets the shot away. Well, and finally the whistle goes, and Shanthan survives there. But what an absolute classic we're witnessing over here. Both teams going absolute hammer and tong. Of course, Bengaluru FC need this win way more than SCEB Bengal do. And Sagnik now, well, if he doesn't get at least an equalizer, it's good night for Bengaluru FC and potentially the end of that top 4 journey as well. So we see that great cross played in, but Sagnik had plenty of responses to that as well.
Yeah, that's still really well set up right here by Sagnik to try and get a goal back, and then we kept seeing a flurry of goals come through, a lot more in this half. Well, yesterday we were talking about how our production team might not have enough to look at. Now they have plenty of goals to look at from this matchup itself. So currently for both of these teams, really nice on the attacking front. Now I do want to see if any changes do come through at halftime for Sagnik, especially because this exact thing, we're getting to see his defense exploited a lot, because he seems to be playing somewhat of a high line. And I think one point that you mentioned with the Vieira not really being a defensive specialist altogether, as well as the fact that I believe the newer cards do have a little bit more pace than Vieira overall, maybe that could be circumvented with a defender with slightly more pace, or even a line that is not as high. But no changes right now for either teams as they look to continue on their momentum on this half.
And ball one high up the pitch there by Sagnik. I think playing that a little bit too early. And he has to try to maintain that early first half composure that he was showing. It's very imperative for him to not get too excited, too hasty, too impatient in those situations. Vieira there doing the job. I do wonder if he wants Vieira in there mainly for that passing ability to play those long balls in behind. That could potentially be a factor as to why he's got him in there. But of course, he does have KDB to launch those balls as well. This is a good looking opportunity, but Varane in there, the long legs just about reaching the through ball, and frustration for Sagnik again. And well, a bit fortunate in that situation to win that ball back immediately. And he can go again. 52 minutes on the clock, just about 30, 36, 37 minutes now for Sagnik to try and find that equalizer and potentially a winner. It's all opened up for R9 over there, trying to find his way through and well, doing well, but again a poor choice of pass inside that box. And Shantan now keeping R9 on the shoulder of Vieira over there. No major options to choose from at the moment, but support is arriving. It does come in the form of Conte, and now it's Pele. But Shantan looking in control at the moment, and Sagnik is really going to need to pull out all the stops, go all out attack, but also keep himself from getting counter attacked the way it happened to Varsi with Ankit, and these kinds of passes are not really helping.
They most definitely aren't. And the quick start that we saw in that first half seems to not necessarily be present in this second, as players are starting to settle down. They are starting to understand each other's tendencies and adapt accordingly. Now once again the ball back in Sagnik's hands. He has the ball through from Ronaldo to Ronaldo, but elects not to take it just yet. I think for him the game plan now is going to just become, let's control the ball, let's try to get a guaranteed chance in a 1-2 setup for Neymar to do exactly that. Held on to the shot for the perfect amount of time and gets it into goal, playing with Van der Sar's mind. Beautifully played by Sagnik right there. What brilliant composure once again in the box.
Yeah, really showing killer edge over there by getting those finishes in. Really important now for him to be a little bit more solid, and it does look like there is a pause cued for him to do exactly that. Maybe now he's going to drop that defensive line a little bit, because I think he's just far too exposed. Maybe he's going to drop his fullbacks back just that little bit, maybe attack with only one fullback as opposed to two. But will it be too late? It does look like Shantan was trying to queue up that meta finesse shot with the chop back over there, but enough bodies back. And now pressure really on Bengaluru FC. They're really going to have to do this the hard way, but the ball's been given away. Sagnik would love to get a goal over here. If he can make this 4-3, that would be a massive moment. And he does find the ball in to Neymar, gets the control, gets away from Marquinhos, decides to play it a little bit safer this time, going back just that little bit, waiting for the passing opportunities. Now with KDB, I wonder if he can... Oh, that's a poor turn and a poor giveaway. And he's onside as Ronaldo. Now will he sprint away? No, has to turn back.
See the pause cue right now. Sagnik wants the change to come through, and this is advantage for Shantan as long as he controls the ball to delay that change for that much longer. So you can see him slightly slowing down, looking for that guaranteed chance. A pause, if he wants, is only going to be at the edge of a goal. But instead, the cutback delivered the ball into Sagnik's hands, and now he's setting up the manual runs, looking for Ronaldo right here, and the turn will make sure that the ball is not taken away. But no place to run back, and I think really he needs to try and just force a chance right here, so at the very least he gets a substitution that he wants on.
Yeah, and I thought that might have been offside for Mbappe. No, but again, cheap giveaway, gets fortunate to win it back. This is a great opportunity. Gets R9 into that box, has to take that shot again. One trick too many. I think a lot of times, a lot of the players right now are just trying to open up that shot too perfectly. When sometimes you can just go for it, take a leaf out of the books of the likes of Mufu and Ankit Gupta and all these guys. Sometimes you just need to take that shot and it will fly in. Now Ronaldo absolutely barging Hakimi off the ball over there. R9 completely unmarked in the box. He has been found, and last ditch defending there, and it's getting very nervy. It's on a knife edge for Sagnik right now. What does he do? Does he keep attacking and risk losing that goal on the counter attack, or does he play it safe and say, let's go into game 3 and try to get that 1 point? Of course he would want to get all 3. That's really what they would need at this moment. And again, passes like that not helping, but given straight back to him. Now with Kevin De Bruyne, you can see him trying to queue up that shot. It falls now to Hullet. And will he find the ball through? No. It is back with SCEB Bengal, and they're looking for that counter attack.
Oh, it's actually Shantan who gets the ball out, and that will give Sagnik a chance to get his substitutions through. I wonder if Shantan has a couple of his own, maybe tactical changes to try and compensate for these piercing runs that again Sagnik is able to set up for Neymar especially. a player that we don't necessarily regularly see, but when it comes through, it usually is in the hands of someone like Sagnik, who wants that agility in his dribbling, who wants that nifty sense, the balance almost that someone like Neymar brings to the table. And I think it is really exciting seeing that combination of someone like Sagnik with a card like Neymar. But 3-3 right now, and I couldn't agree more, Azim. I feel like I can cut the tension with a knife right here because these players, they're so well matched and they're giving us a brilliant show so far. But look at this, so much praise heaped on Neymar from us, and Sagnik actually decided to bring him off for some little bit extra pace on that Vinicius Junior.
Yeah, and also the one thing that he does lose now is that 5-star weak foot that Neymar offers you. Another reason why a lot of players tend to pick that particular card. Now with KDB again, I'm not sure why he's not taking these shots, and again just really running into trouble for no reason over there, because we've seen so many when you have that much space with KDB. We've seen those shots fly in very regularly for the likes of Ashwin from Mumbai City FC, for Afnan in FC Goa as well. Now pressing very high. He has to find that balance of pressing too high because he could be completely out of it. And it will be a throw now. Is Shanthan just going to want to see this out, or is he going to go for goal? It looks like he's trying to see it out. It's going to be constant pressure, or is it going to be just Shanthan seeing it out? The ball won by Sagnik. It is a throw in, and now this is it. Last chance saloon for Sagnik. He needs to get that ball up immediately. He cues the run from Vinny Jr. Will he have the opportunity? I don't think so. It's going to be a draw over here, but that still means that Bengaluru FC are in with an opportunity of getting 1 point, and a point that could potentially be crucial for them, because of course it's not set in stone just yet, because they still do need to win.
Exactly, they need to find the win right here. And try to push through on the basis of that to try and get a point, and then hope in the Northeast United versus Goa match later, both of them end up dropping 2 points each, and then Bengaluru is able to capitalize. But this draw right here in game 2 will mean that a significant portion of Bengaluru's chances are now out of their hands. They have to rely on other teams dropping the points, but what is in their hands is once again this co-op game. Now, the last time we saw these teams face off, Bengaluru had a convincing victory in that co-op game, and they'll try to do it again. But for a second, I want to talk about these chances that we saw from both players coming through in this matchup. Very stark, different play styles from each player, and yet so many cool chances created. Shows you the multiple options that you really have while exploring this beautiful game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, if we're looking at I was just having a look at the table right now. Bengaluru FC, of course, managed to win this co-op game and get themselves that 1 point. They would then actually be rooting for Northeast United FC to get the win, because they would be within they would be within 3 points of Northeast United FC with a couple of games in hand and a vastly superior goal difference. So if FC Goa win, I think it might be just a bit out of reach for Bengaluru FC. So many permutations and combinations. It's just super. And I'm one of those guys who, when I'm watching a sport and just following teams, I'm just sitting and doing all the calculations with the table all the time and paying less attention to the match. But this was an absolute thriller, a 3-all, and Sagnik having to come back from behind 3 times in that game. And will that all be in vain? We'll find out in the co-op match, which is going to kick off in just a few moments, just after this. A pulsating game. And Sagnik, I think, will be a bit annoyed with how open his defense was.
Yeah, 100%, especially considering that almost all of the goals, besides, of course, the set piece, were those kind of through balls, those kind of long balls. And besides the goals too, we saw a couple of chances set up exactly like that. So I think he's going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out exactly what went wrong here and what weakness Shanthan was able to exploit brilliantly. But I think a strength for Sagnik most definitely were these piercing through balls, 1-2s, and then to cap it off, his amazing finishing in the box. Like we saw it for his first goal as well, creating that space for Ronaldo. With this goal, just faking the shot, pulling it back and baiting out Van der Sar before he's able to pick up another. So clearly, Sagnik in the box is one to watch out for. And even in the stats, 3.1 EXG for him. You could see for East Bengal, I think the set piece was not something that the game accounted for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think even the game expected that to be a goal. But it's going to be a very, very toughly contested third game. We're very, really, really looking forward to it. But of course, something that you can always look forward to is, of course, getting into Terra Virtua, which is, of course, the awesome gaming metaverse platform that we have going on. And of course, you can get all these amazing NFT moments and trading cards. Just head over to terravirtua.io and check it all out.
And I think for me, all of those moments that we've been seeing, especially yesterday, I got a glimpse of the Hero ISL matches as well. It's just the way to sort of relive it, a way to sort of remember it and enjoy it once again. But talking about reliving things, we're going into the co-op game now between Bengaluru FC and SCEB Bengal. And last time around, it was the co-op game that was able to get Bengaluru FC a win in the co-op and inherently a draw in the series, therefore 1 point overall. They're going to look to replicate that once again because it is crucial for them to do exactly that.
Yeah, and I think in this case, the 1 point is actually worth 2 for them, just purely because of how superior their goal difference is to both FC Goa and Northeast United FC. So they will definitely be gunning hard for that. Of course, they would have wanted all 3, and Sagnik might feel aggrieved that he didn't manage to get that win against Santan, but you would still say the odds are stacked in favor of SCEB Bengal because all they have to do to get those 3 points today is just not lose. Of course, easier said than done against a co-op unit like Bengaluru FC, and you can see the shake of the head from Sagnik. He's still not happy with himself. He's not. He would have wanted to get the win against Anthan, and from the start, immediately ball given away and a pause cued. It does seem by a Bengaluru FC player. Let's see if that's just a settings related thing or if it's going to be a tactical change immediately.
Well, considering the fact that they haven't yet asked the other team to get the ball out, I'm assuming it's just the tactic gone wrong. Maybe a case of seeing Mbappe in the back of the pitch or something like that. But it doesn't seem to be anything big just yet because they are just playing on. They're not getting the ball out themselves. So I'm curious. Maybe just the immediate substitution. That's something that we haven't seen regularly, but something I can't imagine.
Yeah, maybe I think Varsi is saying no. I refuse to do this Vieira nonsense at the back, but I want Ruben Diaz in there. But there we see fast start to this game as well. Both teams giving the ball away quite a bit early on, and let's see. I think it was Sagnik who wanted to make just some kind of a minor change, or they just may wanted to reseed themselves. Maybe Varsi just wanted to put his hoodie on.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of those simple things. But yeah, it is. I don't think it's going to be a match restart situation. It does look like the players are ready to go. And yes, Kante over there trying to get the ball out of play and has succeeded. And Vieira doing some nice shoulder control of the ball over there. But there we go. Was the opportunity to play R9 in immediately over there, not taken, going wide to CR7. Now queuing that run forward. Actually, a very good decoy run over there. Now with Neymar, needs to get this shot away. And again, wasting too much time, I think, looking for that perfect angle. And the chance was gone. When you got Neymar on that, with that 5-star weak foot, I think you should be shooting from any angle you get, honestly. And now on the counter attack come SCEB Bengal. Big opportunity here. There's Eusebio, big cutback available, but blocked off well by the Bengaluru FC boys and given away very, very cheaply. This is what they can't afford. They cannot afford to be a goal down early on in this game because that is going to make this such an uphill task for them. And SCEB Bengal in no mood to do anyone any major favors, and they're going to be looking to get those goals right away. But coming forward now, Bengaluru FC on that counter attack. Will they look for the ball into the box? CR7 getting in there, and he is the player selected, so they're trying to get the ball to him, working it around, being patient at the moment. Again with KDB trying to find CR7, but again that pass a little too ambitious.
Yeah, just a pass too far, but a similar situation once again as Oh, SCEB Bengal going for an ambitious through ball on the right wing, gets denied, and instead back on the counter is Bengaluru FC, setting up Mbappe over there. A low cross coming through, a quick 1-2. Did not end up working out. Marquinhos able to get the ball back to his keeper, and SCEB Bengal will just slow things down, calm it out. They know for them, even the current status quo is enough to secure 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's always that little bit of a stick or twist kind of situation for them, where do we try to keep attacking, or do we sit back and try to defend, which is always, I think, in the experience of most players, bad idea, because well, the more you sit back, the more pressure you attract, and generally it gets very, very hard to defend when the opposition is up overloading you, and you want to play as high a defensive line as you possibly can in this game. It's not like, for instance, the last game, FIFA21, where you could just run in behind with absolute abandon. Over here, the defenders, particularly with the Team of the Year cards now, do have great recovery pace. You can afford to play that high line, but sometimes, as we did see with Sagnik in that last game, you can get caught out as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think those moments where the player is then able to capitalize on that moment created can be crucial to a victory as well. We're talking about being crucial right now. Ronaldo with an ambitious flick, able to get lucky and get it back, and will try to once again set it up by shifting the ball around that midfield. But Gullit with a huge tackle gets the ball back for SCEB Bengal, and they're just going to again slow things down, play it calmly, and look to really deny any opportunities from Bengaluru. I think the fact that they did lose the co-op last time around also perhaps playing into their playstyle right now. They don't really want to risk anything.
Yeah, of course, they don't want to risk anything. Both teams, I think, don't want to risk anything, particularly early in the game. I think we'll see this game being fairly cagey up till maybe the 60 or 70 minute mark. And I think at that point, we'll see Bengaluru FC really throwing the kitchen sink, unless they manage to get that early goal. And this is a good opportunity. It's being played to KDB, takes the shot, but not really good enough over there, blocked off. And of course, those limbs of the defenders with these Team of the Year cards seem to operate in very strange ways. They can rotate at all angles, it seems, to block shots. And maybe that is the reason why a lot of players don't tend to take these shots, because they've played extensive amounts of the game, so they know exactly how the mechanics work. But now, getting in with increasing regularity into that box now are Bengaluru FC. They have a corner. Do they have a routine up their sleeve as well? Let's find out.
They just do. Actually, it doesn't seem like they're just going to go for a short pass, and usually is manual run set up after that. But with Marquinhos collecting that short pass, it's unlikely they go for anything except just recycling the ball across their midfield and then looking to set up runs with their forwards. Doing exactly that. Ronaldo seems to have got himself into a great position, and it is Ronaldo that they find to secure that first goal.
Yeah, that's very, very well worked. They've been knocking at the door for a while, and well-deserved lead taken by Bengaluru FC. Now, of course, they sort of go into the same situation that SCEB Bengal were in just a minute ago, saying, okay, now we have the advantage, we have what we're here for. Do we keep attacking or do we sit back? So it's a game of a bit of 4D chess happening over here. Depends on how you want to approach it. Do you keep attacking? Do you consider attack to be the best form of defense? Or do you just try to solidify? You can't make silly mistakes in defense. Vieira probably using a hand over there, not quite spotted. Maybe the same VAR official in there from Everton versus Manchester City. But, that's a great bit of skill to get away from Varane, but the pass may be too far back and the chance disappears. The ball still will come back to Bengaluru FC, but they're in the position that they wanted to be at the kickoff. They are a goal up, and they need to hang on to it to get that 1 point that could be pivotal for their top 4 charge.
Yeah, that single point can make all the difference. We saw Mufu as well explaining that to us. At certain points, team might have off days here and there, but a single point can be what does end up getting you into the top 4, especially when you consider Bengaluru FC's goal difference, right? They have one of the best goal differences in the league entirely before this matchup at a comfortable 20 marks. So compared that to some Northeast United FC or FC Goa, who are negative in the goal difference, I think even if they're able to equalize on the points later into the series, getting that top 4 on the basis of that goal difference will be a huge push for them.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, they'll want to try to get this win and get it over with and get the nerves out over here itself. But it's just going to be, they're going to be feeling that pressure. We've all been in this situation in just our regular division rivals games. I mean, forget the pressure that comes with the eISL. I mean, just foot champs weekends make me sweat on occasion. And these guys are playing at the absolute pinnacle. And now getting Vinicius Jr., the substitution made early in the second half, trying to get in behind that defense. And of course, what he gives you in pace, he does sort of lack in terms of that finishing ability with just a 3-star weak foot, I believe. Uh, of course, lots of 5-star skill moves and pace available to you, but not necessarily, as Afnan did find out one fine day, not necessarily the player you want to have on the left flank. I think he's more effective on the right flank, shooting across goal. And now getting in with Eusebio, not quite able to make that happen. Of course, two hulking figures of Hakimi and Marquinhos end up injuring the forward for Bengaluru FC. He'll be fine within a couple of minutes. We do see that's how injuries work in the game. He could have a torn ACL, but don't worry, he'll be fine in just 5 minutes. And now it's getting nervy, it's getting tense. What do Bengaluru FC do? Because they are going to wait now for the most clear-cut opportunities, and could be a good opportunity from the free kick here.
Yeah, most certainly. I think, again, we've wanted to see a lot more differences in terms of those set pieces, but these free kicks are rarely where we see them. But actually, De Bruyne with a ambitious ball in went a little too far, I believe, and therefore not able to create much. It seemed like an injury picked up as well, though that should get resolved real quick, as now SC East Bengal, they're on the attack, but a cheap giveaway there from Kante will get Bengaluru back on the front foot. Now, a single goal right here, getting that extra cushion can make a huge difference in getting that 1 point in. Trying to look for De Bruyne, I believe, in that moment. Not able to find him, will mean a counter now from SC East Bengal.
Yeah, and good recovery over there. Again, that recovery pace that Hakimi and Cancelo give you is just so crucial to being able to play that high line. And now a great through ball played in behind to Eusebio, who's magically recovered from his injury, and will be a corner. Will be a corner for Bengaluru FC. They need to be decisive in these moments. Need to take those shots. We've seen Ankit and Shantan score, and it's a big opportunity. It's in, and it's in. They get the goal from the corner. A huge moment potentially in that top four battle. And now SC East Bengal will definitely be getting those fullbacks forward, and Bengaluru FC now have some breathing room.
Yeah, most certainly. A second goal picked up, breathing room here for the side of Bengaluru FC, and I think an opportunity to try and definitely secure that point. It looks unlikely, especially when you consider the history of this matchup. Co-op has not necessarily been the strong suit of SC East Bengal against Bengaluru FC particularly, and therefore it does mean that right now, I think the way it is going is the way it is going to end for SCS Bengal. Now, they are considering and discussing a couple of changes. So we'll see. Maybe a moment where they can look to experiment and therefore find a solution for their co-op problems.
Yeah, and I think it's a good exercise for them as well, considering that they are going to be in the playoffs. It's they can sort of treat this as like a use case, saying that, you know what if we are 2 goals down in a big match in the playoffs? What do we do? Let's try to experiment and see if this approach works. And the approach that they've taken is to immediately give the ball back to Bengaluru FC. Not quite an effective game plan, I must say, but well, they have the ball back, and now the pressure's all on them. I think Bengaluru FC's defense will be a lot more stable and settled than it was before that second goal went in. Of course, I think the fullbacks will be staying well at home in their positions on their left and right flank now. Hakimi and Cancelo just speak of the Devils, and they pass the ball between each other. It's a great ball in behind, and these are the moments you use the pace of Vinicius on that right flank, using the skill move and a poor pass. And these are the kind of things they really cannot afford. You'd be better off by just slowing down and keeping that ball. And now an opportunity for SC East Bengal to pile on that pressure. Lots of bodies coming forward. It is CR7 who plays Hullet forced a bit wider than he would want to be, trying to get that corner in. Trying to get the cross in, wins the corner, and we know how deadly SC East Bengal are from there.
Yeah, most definitely. I think SC's Bengal, especially Shantan, has those cool setups always ready. Ankit, of course, he's also shown his prolific nature with those crosses. So a ball into the box is what we're expecting, but they need this goal right here if they are to ruin the chances of Bengaluru FC right then and there. And I think that is easier said than done because Bengaluru looked quite comfortable. Now, tactically, quickly, Azim, I wonder if Bengaluru actually go for any changes because they haven't been pressured just yet. And I wonder if changes will actually end up meaning that they lose track of the momentum they've got going. But it's actually SCE's Bengal who make it happen. Kante is going off. I wonder who's come on.
Yeah, getting Kevin De Bruyne in over there, again some passing ability. Surely a cross going to come into the box. No, Mbappe with the shot, and again, and oh my goodness, I think there was a deflection on that shot because the keeper made a bit of a hash of that. Thankfully for SC's Bengal, that for Bengaluru FC, that did not end up in the back of the net. And this is a cross in at the back post. Keeper meets that. This time, is it going to loop into the goal? No. And on the counter-attack, no counter-attack just yet. The pressure is relentless from SC's Bengal. Vinny Jr. with the shot, and it is wide. And that is just the point I was making earlier, that not the best shooting ability in the world on that Vinicius card. It gives you a lot of pace, but sometimes in those situations, you'd rather have a Neymar there instead.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that is the biggest issue with Vinicius Jr. He's got the pace. He, to a certain extent, even got the physicality. It is really that shooting that he lacks in. But right now, it lofted through ball, set up into the box. The header barely denied by Bengaluru FC, but barely for them is more than enough. But once again, across into the box, looking for R7. But Marquinhos comes up clutch.
Oh no, but it's still, the ball is still with SC's Bengal. Now Vieira wins it back. They want to get that ball as far away from their goal as possible. And now we'll be looking to do that with Hullet, with Eusebio. If I was SC's Bengal, I would just be taking the sting out of this game, just passing it about in defense and midfield and ensuring that we get those 3 points. I mean, the 1 point. And that's not the way to do it. They've given it away to Ronaldo now. And on the recovery comes Marquinhos. So getting out of jail just a little bit over there, Bengaluru FC. Now it's De Bruyne and De Bruyne action. And it's all sorts of carnage happening in midfield. But I think now, as we reach 85 minutes, I think Bengaluru FC can start breathing that little bit easier. I think they have the point in the bag. And this win, particularly for this game, in the bag.
Again, counter trying to be set up. If Vinicius Jr. got pace, Hakimi's got heaps of it as well. He's able to make it back in time. And this time, Vinicius Jr. on the other side, leading the charges. Bengaluru FC look to put the nail in the coffin into this matchup and secure the exact same result they got last time around. Won't matter to them though, to be honest. 2-0, 3-0. All they care about is the win right here and the point that comes with it.
Yes, and I think they can look at it in a sense as damage limitation after not being able to get that win, and this could be 3-0. It's going to be a free kick at the edge of the area, and I wonder, are we going to see CR7 smash this into the top corner? He hasn't smashed any of those into the top corner for a while in real life, but oh my goodness, there you go. A Terra Virtua super moment of the match right there, potentially. 3-0 it is for Bengaluru FC, and the points in the bag. There you go.
Yeah, the points in the bag again. The crucial factor, and really, I think, like you said, a super moment for them because it has been an up and down series throughout. A high goal scoring one, I will say, but a free kick coming through for them. Ronaldo 7 really stepping up right there, and I think for Bengaluru FC, helping them end this off on a good note. Okay.
Yeah, just treating us to a few skills over there with Vinicius Jr. And the referee then blows that whistle. It is done. It is done. Still a shake of the head, and Sagnik knows. He knows if he had got that win against Santhan, it could have been a much more comfortable ride into that top 4 potentially. But they're still in it. They are still in the battle with Northeast United and FC Goa to play later today. We will be much closer to knowing how that top 4 battle is going to end up.
I think really that next matchup that you mentioned, Azim, it is going to be crucial for us to really get a glimpse at which 4th team might make it, because right now it seems like, of course, SC's Bengal, they've secured their spot. Chennai FC, they have more or less secured their spot, especially with the teams that could challenge them dropping significant points. And then Mumbai City FC, they have a lot of games in hand, so they have the potential to control their own fate and secure their spot inherently. And I think for these teams, it does just become that simple fact where Now they have a look at which fourth team will be able to make it into the box. Will it be FC Goa? Will it be Bengaluru FC? Will it be Northeast United FC going for a late run? Honestly, it could be either.
Yeah, I think you'd probably say that FC Goa are probably at this point just purely by virtue of one game less played than Northeast United FC and that 1 point advantage they have. They're leading that charge, but if Northeast United FC were to win against FC Goa, then it really throws the cat amongst the pigeons because again, we're back to square one with Bengaluru FC being the team that's really making up ground. And they have that opportunity. This 1 point, as I did say, is actually equivalent to 2 for them, considering the massive goal difference advantage they have over both of those teams, FC Goa and Northeast United FC. So it's really, really fascinating. I think I need to get a calculator out or do some kind of permutations and combinations. It takes me back to school now. PNC, N5C1, all those weird things that I always thought that I do not use anymore. But there you go, Bengaluru FC 3-0, richly deserved 3-0 in the co-op game. And of course, we will, once we have a look at the final scorecards, we will know that it is 1 point each for both the teams, and it is a draw.
Yeah, number of goals scored though, so I think SCEB Bengal, while they'll be unhappy about just taking a point away from this, they don't really care about the points anymore. For them, it is just about getting that goals built up for either player to try and push for the MVP slot. And in that aspect, I'm also curious who did end up scoring these goals in the co-op, and if whether it is Sagnik, because he is again one of the top contenders for the MVP slot the way we've seen. But crucial result for Bengaluru. It didn't look like it might happen after the way the individual matches went, but like we saw last time around, they clutched it in the co-op with a 3-0 win.
Yep, there you go. And Varsi, I think, was a bit outplayed by Ankit Gupta. Sagnik, I think will feel a little hard done by to not have got the win against Anthan. He came back from a goal down 3 times in that game and probably felt he may have just done enough to get that 4-3, but it was not to be. And then in the co-op, showing their quality once again, Bengaluru FC getting that 3-0 win. And again, let's find out now who the hero of the match is. I get the feeling it's going to be quite difficult to make that decision. And it is. Well, not that difficult. It is Sagnik, who scored 3 in his individual game against Chanthan, and then, of course, getting the 1 goal in the co-op as well. So that'll help his charge for that MVP battle as well, getting up to 43 goals now, I believe it is. And let's have a quick look at all of those goals. Some great finishes in here, some great individual play as well.
Yeah, this one especially caught my eye because I genuinely thought for a second that while Ronaldo might have been able to take a shot, he wouldn't be able to create enough space to really get himself a shot without a deflection, and therefore unlikely to be a goal. But I think at this point, you really start to see the individual skill of Sagnik. And this one, just a simple one too. But what was brilliant was that composure right there for the finish.
Yeah, the shot cancel again. Just an advertisement over there for just how useful the shot cancel can be in this game, particularly in 1v1 situations. I think the ball rolls, shot cancels are pretty good skills that everyone should pick up. I'm still doing shot fakes, so I need to get my L2R2 game going with my controllers. And I think we'll be hoping to find out more about the leaderboard. But before that, of course, you can get yourself into the zone with the NFT ecosystem. Of course, Terra Virtua is an entertainment-based metaverse platform, and you can get your favorite NFT team posters, player trading cards, all sorts of fun stuff on terravirtua.io. Check it out. Oh, and also you can watch the Terra Virtua moment of the match, which is also available over here, and check out Terra Virtua later on. But this was the TV moment of the day. It was, I think, a very, very important goal for Sagnik, I do believe.
Yeah.
It was that equalizer, which is, of course, what gave them that moment or the ability, shall we say, to get back into the game. And there we had another lovely shot cancel over there, and getting the job done. And basically the goal that really helped secure that solitary point that Bengaluru FC got.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I think really well done by Sagnik to get that draw in his individual match, because that game looked like it might run away after the early set piece brought up by Shantan, and then well done by both of the players in the co-op to secure that single point. Now let's have a look at how the leaderboard is affected by this single point, and I think really see how Bengaluru's FC's chances fare with respect to getting to that top 4 mark. Now, they're equal on games with FC Goa, 4 points behind, 1 game in hand to Northeast United FC with a better goal difference. So now I think clearly Bengaluru hoping that both FC Goa and Northeast United drop a point each so they can catch up with their next game.
Yeah, and of course, FC Goa still have a couple of big matches to come. They will be playing, I believe it is Mumbai City FC that they have also left on their fixture list. So that's going to be quite a cracker. And yeah, it's right now, I think that 1 point keeps them just about in touching distance with Northeast United FC with a game in hand. So I do actually feel that they're going to be gunning for a Northeast United FC win in that next game. And how the tables have turned now, with all the mind games now shifting back to Northeast United FC and all the pressure shifting there. But they still maintain, I'm sure, that there's no pressure on them.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think Northeast United, they will still try to approach the match with the mentality that they are the underdogs and FC Goa are the ones feeling the pressure, but it is the win that matters. And talking about that, let's have a chat with Sagnik himself, talk about how the pressure has affected him. So hey Sagnik, congratulations on getting the win in the co-op and the 1 point, but how are you feeling right now? It's getting very intense for that top 4 battle.
No, like after a lot of days, I'm disappointed in myself. Like I can't concede 3 goals, so cheaply. It was all my bad. Nothing brilliant by him. Like cheap mistakes in defense by me. So yeah, I'm really disappointed today.
Yeah, so I think it is a feeling of 2 points drop rather than 1 point gain. But do you think that there's still that 1 point could be potentially crucial in the top 4 battle?
I mean, yeah, like if Goa and Northeast drop a few points, and we have to win all our games now. So yeah, I haven't thought of that far yet. Let's see.
Okay, let's ask you a question of not that far ahead, but a game that's happening today. Northeast United FC versus FC Goa. Who are you going to be supporting for that match?
I'm supporting Northeast United.
I thought as much.
Yeah, figures, of course. I think Goa is the immediate contender in the top 4. So definitely good luck for that. I think I can understand the sentiment, but brilliantly done with your finishing, and we hope to see more is all we'll look forward to.
Thank you guys. Cheers.
Well, there we have it. The battle lines have been drawn. Send over those Northeast United FC jerseys to Sagnik right away. And well, finally we can get to telling you about Terra Virtua, which of course is our entertainment-based metaverse platform where you can get your favorite NFT team posters, trading cards, moments, all sorts of amazing stuff related particularly to the Hero eISL. So check it out.
Well, a lot of those trading cards, of course, moments that you can capture in the Hero eISL and inherently have it for yourself. And I think that's what Terra Virtua really offers, a chance to really keep it up. But talking about chances, the eISL wouldn't be possible, of course, with our amazing partners. So a big shout out to the eISL powered by Coca-Cola, with Hero as our associate sponsor, Nordwind Gaming as our esports partner, PlayStation as our platform partner, and of course, Terra Virtua as our digital collectibles partner. Now, that does mark the end of our first set today, but we've got a couple more key matches to go, especially the one we've been talking about throughout this one. So we're going to head off to a small break and be right back with the other. Don't you go anywhere.